G'day folks, welcome to the next episode of the Snowy's Camping Show. Joined, I was going to say as usual, but we have got an episode recently where it was just me because you've been sick for a bit.
So sick. I don't think I've ever been that sick in my life.
You're out for a week, so but I did an interview. I don't know whether this is going to be before or after that interview, so I won't let anything out the bag yet. But if you do see something with Ben in an interview on his own, that's the reason why. It's not because I was fired. No, it's because I was incredibly sick. Yeah. I felt a bit nervous actually. First time in 170-something episodes, but I've had to
do it myself.
Not just fall back on trash talk if I didn't know what to say. But anyway, it went well. Keep an eye out for that if it hasn't already been published. But anyway, joined by myself, Ben, and Lauren. Lauren's back today and well again. You were sounded like you were hacking up a lung earlier in the week. But
the cough's finally. So we're coming up to two and a bit weeks now. And I'm sort of finally in the last day or two starting to feel a bit human.
Yeah.
I think my voice is still a bit off every now and then, but.
Offline for an entire week last week, so it must have really
properly offline. Yeah. I don't know, like sometimes I'm sick, but I'm still working from home or, on because I can't stay away. Yeah. I was literally
we didn't hear
AWOL.
From you. Yeah, to check in now and then to make sure you're still alive.
Yeah.
If we haven't already done so, subscribe to our channel via YouTube and your favourite podcast app, and you can join in on the conversation at the Snowy's Camping Banter Facebook group. Now today, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. This did come a request from, I can't remember if it was a customer or came internally. We're trying to do some shorter episodes, but we're just going to go through our top 10 sellers. So on our website, we've got a little carousel on the homepage that says what's popular this month. Now what features in that carousel is manipulated a little bit to make it look interesting. We've basically dropped out the boring things like tent pegs, which we sell heaps of,
because people might order 20 tent pegs per order and a lot of that. And so otherwise you might just see 3 different kinds of tent pegs, which is boring.
So the carousel shows kind of the top 10 interesting products, I suppose. If you click through, you then get a list of what actually sells. So there's some like glue and a very small light that we sell quantities of, but we're just going on what's popular on that list that are interesting products that we can talk to. And this is where we've talked about it before, going back to Easter, is the Hard Korr U-Lites. That was the number one product there that we referred to it as the hot cross buns. It's about the size of a hot cross bun package.
I think we mentioned something like, it's about the size once, and now somehow everybody Australia-wide calls them hot cross buns.
Yeah, they'll be relabeled. We should get Hard Korr to put a across on the thing or something like that. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's really interesting to me because I know when I sat down and you gave me the list and I was like, what, really still? Because I thought, about 6 months ago maybe they'd sort of fallen off the perch a bit and but not. And when you think about it, it's years now. Like it's consistently been years that these are at our top most popular selling product. So I think it's a real testament. And everybody who has them loves them. So obviously, and we've talked about them a lot, but testament to Hard Korr there with that product.
Yeah, I don't have any yet, but I'm going to get some. My next camping trip, I'm going to get that because I'm going to replace my light bars because I muck around. They're great for heaps of light, but when I just need to set up camp quickly, it's such a compact unit. My mate wanted to get some and he was looking at the Darche ones, which are pretty cool too. Darche got this little 3-pack of like little pivot ones. So kind of do the same thing, but the Hard Korr ones, we just sell heaps and heaps of them.
Yeah, and they just work.
They do. They used to come with a battery, 3 AAA batteries. Now it's an integrated rechargeable battery. Not green light, orange light, filtered diffused light, 4 in the range, rechargeable by USB. Yeah, really good product. So, and not overly expensive too. So super versatile, should be in everyone's camp kit. The next one surprises us all the time because we haven't had these in for very long. We got a certain supplier in, they had these and they said, look, these go pretty well. And we went, okay, we'll give them a try. And it was kind of when we started to get into a bit more four-wheel drive and caravan equipment. But the rock tamers, which are, for those who don't know, have a look on the website, but they're really heavy-duty mud flaps, basically. But the benefit of them, and I've not used them and I haven't delved into them that much, but the big benefit is that you can just attach it to your existing tow hitch.
Yeah.
There's no custom integration or anything. You buy it and you fit it to your vehicle. If you've got a tow hitch, you can fit these on.
Yep, and they come in a 2-inch hub and a 2.5-inch hub, and you can tighten them if your hub isn't perfectly within those dimensions, so they are customizable to a certain extent. It's probably good to note though that if you've got the tow ball tongue that slides into the little, I don't know, what do you call it, the receiver or whatever, if the tongue fits up against the receiver perfectly snug, then you're not going to be able to use the rock tamers.
Yeah.
So essentially,
you need about an
inch gap between the toe ball, the end of your toe ball tongue, and the hitch, because that's obviously where the hub of the rock tamers sit.
Yep.
Obviously, if you don't, you can get around it if you get yourself a little metal drill bit and screw some holes, but it's a bit of a stuff around.
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind. But excellent. And they do come with a bonus gravel screen as well that goes between the mud flaps.
Oh, it does? I didn't look into that.
Yeah, no, you can buy the gravel screen separately, but when you buy the Rock Tamer set, it comes with a bonus mesh.
Okay. So
as well.
I think we'll get some videos up on these soon too, just to sort of touch and feel and handle it a bit. But we've got some set up in the shop and they are heavy duty. They're not an afterthought. It's big, thick rubber that will sit firm, and it's like cast iron or cast metal components. It's a really, really durable, well-made product.
Yeah. The next one, which is interesting.
It's newer to us.
And it's an Oricom wireless reversing camera.
Yeah, which is, once again, we've probably been caught short on this. Some of these we haven't done product videos and I haven't delved into in much detail, but I think this is pretty straightforward. This is a very versatile reversing camera that it has a magnetic base, so you can put it on any magnetic surface and it integrates with with an app.
Yes.
So you don't need to wire it into your vehicle or anything. You can just stick it on the back of your caravan.
Yeah.
And then look at your phone.
That's right. And it's Bluetooth connection, and it's got something from memory recently looking into it. It's got 30-meter distance. So if you've got it on the back of your caravan and you're in your car, it's still going to work. So it's really handy. You can chuck it on the back of a camper trailer or a normal trailer. You could also chuck it on the back of your car if you were wanting to. And because it's magnetic, you can just pull it off and magnet it somewhere else. So if you're solo reversing your car, trying to maybe hook up a caravan or something, you can magnet it to the back of your car, then you can magnet it to the back of your caravan. It's really handy.
Have you had a play with one yet?
I have physically had a play in the box, but I haven't had a play in terms of setting it up and connecting it to the phone and stuff. But I'm interested think it's worth it.
And once again, we'll do videos on this as well, but I'm interested to know how strong that magnet is, because I'm assuming, and I probably would just, if it's a magnet, I'd take it off and put it in the vehicle while I'm traveling and just put it on when I'm reversing.
Yeah.
But interesting to know how strong that magnet is. I assume it's going to be.
And I think it's a really affordable option to having something that's hardwired in.
It's a couple of $100. Yeah. And you're not talking, if you're not, you pay a hell of a lot more than that just to get someone to wire something in for you.
Yeah, and the fact that it is that, like you say, magnetic removable, you can change it and move it to any scenario. If you sell a van and you get a new van or a different car, whatever, it makes it really handy.
So it's a newer brand to us, Oricom. We've got their radios as well, and they've got a tire pressure management system as well. Some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, we've only had that for less than 6 months, that brand.
I would say so, and they're doing really well.
Pretty good for this to jump straight up to the top.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, I was going to let you talk to this a bit because you did do the video on this one, but Exped's Mega Pump. So they've had their widget pump, which is a little compact hiking style pump for a while. And this Mega Pump they brought out to kind of cater for more of the camping range. So they're Mega Mats, they're thicker mats that people aren't trying to save weight.
Especially the 15 centimeter mat as well. It's it's very powerful. And I think the thing to note with it though is that we've had a couple of returns from customers on them because Exped have their new range of the Mega Mats and stuff that we stock now. But about a year and a half, potentially 2 years into the previous models, they changed the valve sizes. Yeah. So if you have a mat that's say an Exped mat that's 2 years plus old, you need to double check whether or not your inflate valve and your deflate valve are the same size, because the Mega Pump only works from a deflate perspective on the new valve, which is bigger.
Oh, okay. So you can't use it for inflate.
So you can use it for inflate on both, but if your mat is the older style valve and the deflate valve is the same size as the inflate valve, then the deflate function on the Mega Pump won't work. Because it's much larger and it's designed to sort of click into place and hold that little valve flange in the way there.
It's quite a few years ago now that they updated that from memory though.
I feel like it was about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, just that's the only thing to note. But yes, I think especially when you're talking about mats that have those valves, because they're like Zempire, Black Wolf, Zempire, Black Wolf, Austrail, they all use a pretty universal mat valve, right? It's that little white one with the orange valve and it twists inside. It's really difficult to find a pump that will deflate those because the way that valve works, obviously, and then you've got the little flange there. As soon as you put something on to deflate, that orange flange goes and gets sucked against the pump and no air gets out. So I think Zempire do a monster pump, which they designed for their monster bed. That will work with those valves on deflate. But so, that similar valve, the deflating function on a lot of self-inflating mats is very difficult to find a pump that works seamlessly. So if you have any of the Exped mats, and they also work relatively well with the Cedar Summit mats as well. That's a really great pump to do perfectly integrated inflate and deflate.
And when you did the video, did you try it on a thick mat? Because quite often the deflate mode, like FlexTail are great pumps, but when it comes to bigger mats, they don't quite have the guts because they're made to be so compact. They don't quite have the guts to suck all the air out of a thicker mat. But
mind you, though, the new FlexTail, there's like I can't think what it's called.
I did it.
That Max pump. That's bloody powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Exped's is more in line with that?
Yes. But you can't deflate with that one. You can't deflate the Exped mats with that new FlexTail mat. Yeah. So that's why the Mega Pump comes in handy. Okay. But the Mega Pump's super powerful.
All right, there you go.
Noisy but powerful.
Well, a lot of them are quite noisy.
They are noisy.
And quite often they'll run quietly, but then you put them in the valve and the little silicon valve inside starts to vibrate and it makes all sorts of noises. So.
But I mean, also you're thinking a lot of the time something smaller than the size of an apple and you're expecting it to deflate and inflate a huge mattress in a matter of minutes. Of course it's going to be noisy. Yeah.
And the next one's interesting and it constantly surprises us. We got into some batteries when we brought KickAss on board. And they've got 120 amp hour AGM deep cycle battery that we sell heaps of.
We sell heaps of them.
We can only sell these by road, so it's not an express delivery option or anything, but they just fly out the door. And I think it's just because they do the job.
They're affordable.
And they're far more affordable than the equivalent in the market.
That surprised me as well because whenever I get people calling up about them and I see how much we sell of the AGMs, because I didn't personally think AGMs really were that popular anymore.
Well, no, they're not. But I think the thing is, see, I still use sealed lead acid because I put it under the bonnet and you're not really supposed to use AGM under the bonnet. Can't use lithium under the bonnet. So I still use sealed lead acid because my car's just set up for that. So the change would be bit more.
You got like a proper dual battery.
Yeah, like a hard wired one. So you could go to AGM and it's I think it's a slightly better battery in terms of it hasn't got the wet cells and stuff in there. Or it does, but not the water in the same respect. That's my understanding. But then you could go to lithium and you go, you get less weight, more power for the weight. But you pay a lot more. The jump up is 3 to 4 times, I would say.
Yeah, like price. I think the AGM 120 amp AGM KickAss battery off the top of my head is $270. Yeah. The lithium is $500.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
But mind you though, you're getting an extra 30% more power in the lithium.
Well, you are, yeah. But I guess that makes sense in that respect. The economics of it makes sense in that respect, but the economics of I've got $300 or I've got $500 or $600 to spend on a battery.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking I'll update it whenever my sealed lead acid, currently my battery, deep cycle battery is dying. I'm going to need one soon. And I'll probably go through the same process and think, should I upgrade it, put a battery box in with a lithium battery, and I'll probably just get another sealed lead acid battery because the car's I can go to a battery world and drive out of there $300, probably about $400 because I've been getting a Yuasa or Century battery and they're about $100 more than these guys here. And I'm done and I'm good for another number of years. So I just keep doing that. But these are at least $100 less than an equivalent in some of the other
and I
batteries.
think potentially unless, if you're just running something like a fridge, that's pretty consistent. Whereas if the load is a lot higher current or you've got a higher rate of discharge and recharge and you're using a lot, maybe lithium then definitely has the advantage.
Use it all the time.
But if you're just doing your generic everyday off-grid camping, realistically, there's nothing wrong with AGM.
No, it's fine. Yeah, put it in a battery box in the boot of your car.
Yeah.
And you got a portable battery system.
Yeah.
Next one's another KickAss product as well, and that's their little portable vacuum. And I believe
I did a video on
that one.
I actually was really pleasantly surprised. Like it's a very affordable product. And so, not specifically with KickAss, but a lot of brands like Companion, Osho, whatever, they have a range of products in there at different price points in their total catalog, right? And some of the products maybe look a little bit, what's the word? Like not naff, but what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like gimmicky sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And so that KickAss have done a few things recently where they've got like this, it looks like a tiny hairdryer but it's an air blower. That thing is powerful as hell. I came around the corner one morning and Cam, as everybody who watches our YouTube channel would know Cam, he's actually a bit of a larrikin, as you may or may not be surprised, and sort of gets up to a bit of mischief in store. But just randomly came around the corner and he's just like and sprayed this thing right in my face. My hair was gone everywhere. I was shocked at how powerful that thing was. And so when the vacuum cleaner came out, I was like, oh, man, how good can it be? I mean, this little handheld blower. But it was so good.
Yeah, okay.
So good. Like I haven't got one yet, but I'm definitely going to get one, even just to sort of have at home, because it's quite small. It's quite maneuverable. Doing a quick vacuum in the car, I've also got like a Dyson stick vac at home, and it's a bit chunky and not as, I don't know, I just really liked it. I was really shocked and surprised by how powerful it was. My car was filthy and it made short work of the mat. So
I can see the benefit.
Awesome investment.
For a long trip, if you've cleaned the car before you go, because you're probably not going to, you'd have to empty it a number of times, I would assume, to clean. If your car's really dirty.
I think it has like a 200 mil storage.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just press a button and then you can just chuck it out in the gun and click it back in. So it's about a cup's worth of.
Empty it a few times if you're doing your entire car. But I can see the value in going for a trip. You start off with the car clean and you try and maintain the vehicle. I mean, I traveled for 4 months. We tried to maintain the vehicle in a reasonably tidy state because we're in it all the time. Yeah. That's good just for a quick tidy up. Yeah. Get rid of the dirt. And I mean, the other thing
potentially is inside your tent as well. If you've got it in your, I wouldn't buy it to replace a dustpan and broom, because a dustpan, it's just easy. You don't have to charge it. You can use a brush for a bunch of different things. But if you're getting it because maybe you've got it in your car or you're traveling with kids and they spill jats, crumbs everywhere and you just want to try and keep on top of it, and then it's also handy for things like your tent. Maybe you've also got a dog and you want to just vacuum off dog hair off your camp seat, whatever. I don't know, whatever. It was cool and I was really impressed by it, and obviously reflected by it being in one of our best sellers.
So that's a handy addition, another KickAss product. Next one is, this has been popular for a while, Milenco Mirrors, in particular the Grand Aero Platinum, but can probably just talk about Milenco in general. I think the Grand Aero Platinum, I think that's the latest version.
The Platinum is the latest version and they don't require additional pads to fit vehicle types. So Milenco do say that they fit 100% of vehicles tested to date. It's probably worth noting that tested to date is actually only up to 2022 from memory, because that's the last time they did a full big testing round. So if you do have a vehicle after 2022, we probably need to double check with fitment on those. The other thing to note, and we're getting a staff tip up on the website, because have noticed a thing. It's very rare that we get anybody have failures with these mirrors. But I've just double checked. We've had 4 failures of these mirrors in the last 12 months whilst driving, and all of those vehicles had chrome wing mirrors.
Chrome. As in a metal.
As in like silver chrome wing mirrors.
Oh, okay.
And we apparently, Cam, again, he's getting a couple of features in this episode. He tested us a pair on a set of chrome mirrors in the car park here, and they slipped off quite easily.
So it's the smooth surface.
So I think it's just there's something to do with the chrome finish on the wing mirrors that once you, even if you sort of have them attached fairly firmly, once you start driving and there's a bit of vibration and wind and resistance, whatever, a bit less of a secure fitting on those chrome mirrors. But like I said, we've sold hundreds and hundreds of these units, and that's only 4 instances in the last 12 months.
Yeah, there's usually piles of them in the shop. They just keep going through. The benefit of these, you see a lot of sorry, I'll take a step back. You can go down like the Clearview path, which do really good mirrors.
Excellent.
They replace your entire mirror. So it's a bit more of an investment in money.
I think they're like $600, $700, $800, aren't they?
I think 700 is what I had in mind. Probably that was a while ago. They're probably more than that now. And you get a really good solution for that, but you do end up with a big mirror on the side. They can adjust out, but they stay on there permanently. The benefit of these guys is that you don't have to change the mirrors that are on your existing car. You can add them onto the car, and they've got a good secure fitment with obviously some exceptions. You need to use some common sense around how it fits in your setup, and you can just take them off and put them in your car, and you're not spending nearly the price you would be if you were replacing it with the Clearview or similar options.
Yeah.
And there's others out there with straps and all sorts, but these just have a secure fitment that just secure to your mirror. They fold with the mirror. They work really well. So really popular.
And I think it's also they're also a good option because for a lot of states and territories, it's actually legislated that you have to have towing mirrors. And for people who might have a car that's a daily driver, it's not a massive full drive. They're not towing all the time. Maybe they're just going away on the odd holiday with a camper or caravan. It meets that legislative requirement. If you do happen to get pulled over when you're driving, you know that you're covered. You haven't invested heaps of money and they're not on there all the time.
Especially if it's an SUV. I'm not sure if you can get Clearview mirrors for like a Forester, for example.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
If you're towing a caravan on a Forester and you probably don't want massive mirrors on your daily driver, you can just put these on and take them off easily. Next one, this is one of your favourites.
Muk Mats.
In particular, large version is up there with volume of sales. But my comment on this was just useful.
It's just useful.
Yeah.
Do you have? I like it would be perfect for you with your surf life saving.
Yeah, I know it would be.
And you just don't have one yet.
Every time I get changed at the back of the car, I think really should get a Muk Mat. So I haven't got one.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I've actually got a patch of grass that I got from like a fake turf place. It was just a cut off that sits outside my door at home. So similar, but hasn't got the finished off edges and it hasn't got quite the same texture as the Muk Mat. They've got extra little fibers and stuff in the Muk Mat to give it.
It's like the super bougie fake grass. The Muk Mat ones.
But the fake grass is really good. So the Muk Mat's the next step up from that. So I really should get one.
You need that and like a little water port so that you can like rinse off yourself and be on the Muk Mat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, usually we do that at the club, but the Muk Mat though, you always end up with sand and stuff on your feet. So
they're so good.
So Muk Mats come in different sizes. You can get them for caravan steps, big mats, small mats, square mats, all sorts of shapes and sizes. And they're all finished off around the edges. And a lot of people are going to go, I'm not going to pay that much for a patch of grass. Don't pay that much for a patch of grass, then that's fine. But most people who buy them are pretty happy.
I actually don't know anybody who has a Muk Mat that doesn't love it.
Yeah. Good gift maybe. Next one is another Exped product, and this is the MegaMat Max. Now, the MegaMat always used to be the popular option, and Exped updated their mats 6 months ago, maybe. And it's not a big update. They've got a handle on the side and some color updates, but it's mainly to use like
and it was in line with the Euro standards changing for manufacturing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to be not use certain chemicals and stuff in their manufacturing process. But in that process, the 15 centimetre thick one seems to have overtaken, according to our data here, because both the single and the double are in this top 10 list at the moment.
Which is crazy, right? And we talk about this a lot around the office because they're not cheap.
No.
Like the Exped MegaMat 15s, the Max, they're not cheap.
No.
And in some cases, they're probably more expensive than an IKEA home mattress. And it's like, but people buy them. And I regularly are talking to customers on the phone who've had their Exped mat for 7, 8, 9 years plus. My Exped mat, I think we're going on about 7 years now, and I'm still user. I pump it up more often than not because the self-inflating is less vigorous these days. But they are an investment, but they're so worth it.
I've had mine for 10 plus years.
Yeah. Yep. And my parents, I don't know if I've ever said it on the podcast before, but my parents headed interstate for a weekend and they took a swag with them. And I was like, please take my Exped and put it in there. And they're like, no, it's fine. We don't have an issue. And I was like, please, like, you're getting on a bit now and you don't want you to just throw your back out for it. It's just not worth it. Just take it and try it. And they came back and they were like, holy hell, that was insane how much difference that it made.
Yeah.
So,
but the 15 centimetre, 10 was a standard, 15. We're seeing 20 in some mats now, but 15 centimetre just gives you that flexibility to let some air out so you sink down into the mat and you don't bottom out. So, look, they're expensive. They are worth the money if you can afford it. But, they're not a cheap product.
Not a cheap product,
good quality,
good investment.
Well-made product. And they brought out new models. They haven't really changed because the formula works. It's as we said, it's just fabrics. And they've thrown a handle on the side.
Yeah.
Is really the only difference. Colour changed slightly.
So number 10, Darche Cold Mountain sleeping bags, specifically the 1400, which is the double.
Yeah.
Now, the Cold Mountain comes in both a canvas and a non-canvas version. So when I say canvas, one's got like a black canvas outer. The other one is got just a standard sort of synthetic 80s tracksuit pant style external material.
Yep.
Though the non-canvas ones are a bloody good deal.
This one.
They are, for what they are so cheap. They're so warm, they're so thick, and they're so cheap.
Well, this one, I'm just double checking because I've written Cold Mountain. This is the canvas version.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think we should talk about this in a bit more holistic view because there's a whole, both across Darche and 23-0, there's a whole heap that kind of do the same thing. The synthetic version, is a lighter weight, more compact version that's really well priced. I'm surprised. It's probably in this list
we
somewhere.
say like lighter weight, more compact, but it's actually warmer. So the cheaper synthetic, the cheaper one with the 80s tracksuit pant material on the outside is warmer. It's got more insulation and things like that. The canvas one is not rated as warm. And I think that obvious, which may be obvious, but if you're using like a very thick, heavy sort of cotton canvas duck material on the outside, plus all of that insane insulation, you're going to end up with a bloody heavy bag.
Yeah.
Whereas the standard Cold Mountain, which has that synthetic material on the outer, the synthetic material allows there to be a way more insulation.
Yeah. Okay. The sort of the similar sort of category of bag though anyway, because they come in at like a 900, 1100 and a 1400. They're made to fit swags and rooftop tents.
Yep.
Darche have got their Cold Mountain canvas, so it's got that heavy duty cotton exterior. The Cold Mountain's got that, the tracksuit pant material that you talk about.
Yeah,
so
80s.
it's that your traditional tracksuit, traditional sleeping bag material. And then 23-0, I've got their products too. Now, probably one reason why maybe 23-0 is not much in their contention here is I think we're out of stock for a while, but they've got an Alaska and an Arctic range as well. So I guess just as at the time of recording, sorry to interrupt here, but just at the time of recording, the standard Cold Mountain 1400, which is a -12 sleeping bag, probably worth noting that it's not tested unless the sleeping bag has got like an EN or an ISO rating physically on it. It means it hasn't been tested to the standard. So the comfort temp is like best guess based on the manufacturer, right? Yep.
But anyway, $180 for a double -12 sleeping bag with that material on the outside.
So that if you compare the 1400, 180. The canvas is
whereas the canvas is -5.
So it is,
and
really
it's a
good
-5.
value. Yeah.
So in terms of there's very, very difficult to find a sleeping bag that stated -12, which again, take it with a grain of salt because it's not tested to that, but very warm sleeping bag like that for that price.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's bulky and chunky, so it's for car camping, but it's like, that's got 44 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
So the 1100, which is, your king single one, that's, what's that? 67 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Like it's, they just walk out the door and they speak for themselves.
If you want the durability, get the canvas exterior, but if you just want warmth for value, I suppose, then the basic Cold Mountain, which is an orange and black color exterior on it, if you're looking at it on our website. But if you do want that durable exterior, check out the 23-0 ones as well. They're Alaska range. If you actually click through to the popular products, all of these plus some Coleman options too are all in our popular products at the moment because it's winter and people are looking for warm sleeping bags. And if I was walking people through the range, you go, well, there's a Coleman option, there's a 23-0 option, Coleman options, 23-0 options and Darche options. And I couldn't really say one's better than the other, except the Darche one is really good value. Coleman's Pilbara is a really versatile option because it's got removable liner and stuff. So it depends on what you want. So there's a heap of really good warm, chunky sleeping bags that bring comforts of home into the into the campsite during winter. So,
and if you've got one of those the standard Cold Mountain sleeping bags that's rated at minus, or advertised at a -12 rating, and you chuck say like a $25 Austrail or Coleman fleece liner in that sleeping bag, you are sweating.
It'll be warm, yeah. So let me just take a step back to say, if you are looking at our website going, you haven't mentioned a bunch of this stuff. So we're looking at a little carousel on the front. So check it out. If you want to know what's popular right now, check it out. If you click through to the view all, you do get
on the homepage. Let's just start from the beginning.
We'll just briefly mention the boring things. So if you go through to like a popular camping across the entire camping category, Exped, kind of boring. Aquasoft toilet paper is another big seller.
Really?
Pretty boring. Yeah. Well, people would just buy lots of it.
Why wouldn't you just buy loo roll from the supermarket?
Because you can't. Do we need to go down that path? You can't use just any toilet paper in your porta potty.
Rubbish.
You've got to use proper stuff.
Rubbish. I don't believe that for 1 minute.
I'll have to cut that bit out of the podcast.
No, really.
There's a few clearance products in there, which generally when things go to clearance, they jump up because the price comes down a little bit, although for some reason this is only 9 cents cheaper. So I'll have to speak about what's going on there. One thing we saw in here, the Julka Gotta Go, I'm not sure why that hasn't made it onto the homepage, but that's a really popular toilet. That's
I think it's because we're currently out of stock.
Could be because we're out of stock.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
But yeah, they walk themselves out the door. Every time we get a new shipment in, sold within 24 hours, a whole lot.
And why? Because you can use it as a composting toilet or a regular toilet. They separate poos and wees.
Yep.
They've reinvented how you look at toilets.
Yeah.
Versatile. Seam grip, a glue.
Oh, that's really popular. Yeah, that's
popular.
So popular. But
boring to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, correct.
Tiger's guy rope, made it the Steadfast. That's kind of an interesting one. Can't talk too much. Just it's a cool guy rope. Austral's Lumi Line string light. That's pretty cool.
I have got them and they're awesome. They're like a nifty little fairy light in a more of a sort of durable wind-up case. I really think they're great. I'd question the battery life on them though, because I found mine go flatter a lot quicker than I expected. And I'm saying that without having checked the specified battery life on them, but they are awesome.
And they're $30 too.
And they're like $30 and you get 10 meters of amazing light.
Then you got another Tiger guy rope, toilet chemicals. So I think we've filtered out all the boring things and just talked about the interesting stuff. So we'll try and do these more often. It was quite interesting just to have a look at. I should look at it more often to see what people are buying right now. I guess we do that automatically anyway with all our promotions. But if you're interested, homepage of our website, scroll down, popular gear this month. That lists our popular kind of interesting items. Click through if you want to see what people are buying on the landing page. Cool. That's it. That's our top 10 for, what are we, mid-July, mid to late July by the time this goes live. Try and do this periodically just to keep you up to tabs with what the cool kids are buying.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.